There is a certain type of child who likes the sound of their own voice. The bossy boy, the overbearing girl, the self-proclaimed leader who speaks first so that their opinion counts the most. Unfortunately, children who like the sound of their own voice are cursed, because when they grow up, there is nothing for them to do but become politicians. What a tragic waste of a life. This is the Visitors Book, where all the grisly tales of all my wicked guests are written down. Want to see why one of these bad children is down here? This is Gulab's story. I call it The Undertaker. Gulab Gobby was born into a family that expected great things of him. He was encouraged from an early age to find his voice and shout it from the rooftops. My name is Gulab Gobby, and I know everything. There was nothing Gulab did not have an opinion on. The milkman was harangued on the state of British farming. Genetically modified produce is the way of the future. The human race doesn't need to run out of milk or meat. All we need is a cow with 60 udders and a lamb with 24 legs. The window cleaner was lectured on the dangers of global warming. In a few years' time, your job won't exist because the sun reflecting off the windows will be so hot that you'll be barbecued up your ladder. You should retrain to wash the windows of underground aquariums. It's shady down there, so that's where the future is. And the postwoman was given a rant on the joys of electronic mail. Have you never heard of email, you dinosaur? Use it once and you'll never want to send a letter again. It's 1,000,000 times faster than you. By the time he was 6, Gulab was writing a column for the local newspaper called It Does My Nut In. By the age of 9, he was appearing regularly on the news as the voice of the common man. And by the time he was 11, he was sitting in the House of Commons as the youngest ever Member of Parliament.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Would the honourable gentleman like a cushion?
Yes, please. And a glass of milk would be nice too. It didn't take Gulab Gobby MP long to settle into his stride. Within a couple of days, he was interrupting the Prime Minister. You're not very interesting, are you? It's all I can do to stay awake. Silence! You heard her. You've had your go, now sit down and let somebody interesting talk for a bit. Not the Prime Minister, you! Me? You mean you want to hear more dull stuff about the economy from him when I've got 3 hours of fascinating stuff prepared on the topic of people who paint white lines down the middle of the road? This is intolerable. The Prime Minister is trying to speak. Well, perhaps he should try a bit harder, and until he does, he shouldn't be allowed to say a word. Young man, you will speak when you are spoken to. If you interrupt again, I shall be forced to punish you. And she was extremely strict with people who liked the sound of their own voices. But what I've got to say is much more interesting than anyone else in this chamber. In your opinion? Yes, in my opinion. But who else's opinion is there? The amount of white paint that is wasted on our roads every year is a national disgrace. The worst offender is the M25. Silence! Gulab Gobby, you are charged with loving the sound of your own voice. For such vanity, there is but one punishment available to this house. The Undertaker. Gulab was sent home from the House of Commons and told never to come back. Not that you'll be able to. Gulab arrived home to find a coffin propped up against the dustbins. What's this? Has somebody been fly tipping on our front drive? Do you want me to have a word with our local MP? Oh, no, that's me, isn't it? And I've been suspended. Gulab, shut up. Have you seen what it says on the nameplate? Gulab Gobby. Huh? You mean this coffin is meant for me? And there was this calling card nailed to the lid. The Undertaker, by appointment to the mother of all parliaments. Disappearing bodies for 700 years. I don't understand.
The Undertaker at your service. I've come for my coffin.
Not before you explain what you mean by putting my name on the lid.
Because this is your funeral.
But I'm not dead.
And I am only instructed by the Speaker to take away your body.
Leaving which part behind?
The part you love best. The part that thrills you.
His voice?
I simply dispose of the unnecessary bits that nobody wants. And while I'm on the subject, Mrs. Gobby, when the body has disappeared, I suggest that Gulab uses his voice sparingly. Imagine what would happen if he was to lose it. If he lost his body and his voice, there wouldn't be much left to love, would there?
I'm not getting in, and you can't make me.
I wouldn't dream of asking. This coffin is purely symbolic.
Then how are you going to make my body disappear?
I've got all that I came for.
As the night drew on, and Gulab's body remained intact, Gulab became more like his old self. Obviously, the Speaker's trying to scare me into thinking I'm going to lose my body to stop me using my voice. Well, it's not gonna happen. Tomorrow morning I shall go on television and tell the world what the Mother of all Parliaments is up to. But the following morning, while Gulab was in makeup, the Undertaker buried the coffin. And Gulab began to disappear. By the time he got in front of the camera, there was nothing left of him except for his voice. Well, I'm sorry. We were to have had Gulab Gobby MP on the show, but he doesn't seem to have shown up. No, I'm here! Thank you. Gulab's voice was put in a taxi and sent home, where his mother had some sound advice. You'll have to stop talking. If you lose your voice, you'll disappear altogether and never come back. What sort of a life am I gonna have if I can't speak? You were warned. And keep your voice down. If you hadn't loved the sound of your own voice quite so much, none of this would ever have happened. Don't rub it in. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll just have to keep quiet from now on. Yes, I guess you will. Secretly, his parents were rather pleased and were already looking forward to a nice, quiet life. As it turned out, it was quieter than either of them expected, because when Gulab got out of that bath, he caught a cold, one sore throat, and he was gone. The only way he can keep in contact now is by texting. Here's one he did earlier. Help, where am I? It is very dark in here. When is somebody coming to save me? Never!